Now, I know I ain't been on here in a minute, but let me explain. I ain't gonna lie, I've been in my feelings because, like, a lot of people who were like pro Trump, I'm very let down. A lot of people, when they find out that, you know, I was really on the Trump side of things, they get upset. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. For me personally, Trump just made sense. I got that rhino energy. I've been Democrat for most of my political life, so it was uncomfortable to make the decision, but for the sake of my family, it just made sense. But now, every time I get in touch with my Democratic friends and family, boy, do they really rub my nose in it. I deserve it. I don't regret it, but I deserve it. So, anyway, everybody always finds a reason to be mad at Trump. The latest thing with Trump is this whole thing with this lifeguard saving this little boy.
It's an honor to be with Ryder Williams, who is a 16-year-old lifeguard, California, the Santa Cruz area. And he saved this young gentleman who I had a long talk with. I said, would you have made it without him? And you said, not really, right? Yeah. So you're going to have a long and beautiful life. This is very exciting to me.
It was a touching story. 16-year-old, lifeguard saves boy from drowning. Real touching story. But you know how Trump is. Eventually, he puts his foot in his mouth. It's what he does.
Now, it's so exciting to see something like this happen. He's a real hero. When you see that, I don't know if I'd do it. I wouldn't probably. You're lucky I wasn't. You're lucky I wasn't on service that day. I don't know. But no, he's a real hero. It's an amazing thing. And he's a real lucky guy, too. God was watching you, right?
And then, of course, everybody, he said, it couldn't have been me. If I was the lifeguard, I wouldn't have saved you, to the kid. Oh, how dare he ruin this moment? Come on, it's Trump. Come on. Man's a billionaire. Like, okay, I know people don't like Trump. Okay, everybody's entitled to their opinions. But come on, you're just finding stuff. Okay, maybe my tolerance level is better. It's a little higher than most people. Okay, I don't care about this stuff. I don't care. I'll tell you what I do care about. My feelings were so hurt. This Iran thing. I'm gonna tell you something about this channel too. I'm gonna tell you something about YouTube. The algorithm is wild. Like, this channel is really taking on a life of its own. And I'm starting to realize that this is not just about, just throwing stuff up there, subscriber count. Like, it's a thing. The algorithm is a thing. And when I was making content on this channel, I realized, I was like, you know what? I sound like a moron. With all due respect to me. I wasn't like MAGA, but I felt like Trump would push the country in the right direction. For people who are riding a wave and getting money and all that good stuff, more power to you. Trump is doing some good things for people who are very well connected, people who are doing well financially, For common everyday folks, not so much. Just an observation. I've made. But more particularly, as a veteran, I get so disgusted with how he's handling this Iran situation. I tried to be optimistic about it, but I'm so upset. I'm distraught. Like, I didn't like the fact that we went that way. I didn't like the fact that we jumped into this Iran stuff. It just bothers me. And I sat down for a little while. I sat down to digest this because I'm so thoroughly disgusted with it. But I'm gonna tell you what really pulled my toenail off of my big toe is his comment about the USS Lincoln.
Family members of U.S. service members are concerned about the conditions on board the USS Lincoln.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship.
Has the deployment's gone on too long?
No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
That just left a really really bitter taste in my mouth. Like, I didn't like that at all. I understand that most civilians and most people who are like not connected to like military folk, I think he's very out of touch with the military. Most people are. Uh, this idea, oh, they weren't out there nearly long enough. It's like, it is really cringy. But yeah, I don't. So this, I don't really get mad though. I see why a lot of people will be like outraged by it. I just chalk it up to his ignorance. And I think most civilians are very ignorant when it comes to the military. Veteran me is going, he's acting like our service is like a cheap thing, you know. Separated me out of the military me is like, I've been on the civilian side long enough to understand that the average civilian, and especially like rich people like Trump, they have no idea the level of sacrifice that people in a uniform contributes to this country. It's very easy for him to be casual. Like a lot of people have this attitude, like, you know, you signed the dotted line, you know, you did the push-ups, you know, you're getting paid. So, you know, what's the complaint here? There's a lot of people who can be a little insensitive about it. But as the commander in chief, I have to say, that is a little distasteful. My thing is this whole taking the military for granted. The conditions on that ship are so awful. And I have friends in the military, and I know some people who know some people who are on that ship. These are human beings, and they're being treated terribly. So to hear that your commander in chief is like, okay, not nearly long enough. I mean, how long is long enough? Like, how much do our servicemen and women have to suffer for it to be enough? Why do we have to suffer for something that has nothing to do with the United States? Like, I get so frustrated. This idea of, oh, they're going to have a nuclear weapon. Oh, we need to open up the Strait of Hormuz. None of these were a problem before we decided to jump over there. So, yeah, I've been in my feelings. And I've been embarrassed because I thought Trump knew better than this. And I should have known better. Because when we first went over there to start messing with Iran, this man was talking like this was going to be an action movie. Like, oh, we're just going to kick over your government and you guys could just pick up where we left off and just take it over.
To the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Yeah, no, it didn't quite work out like that. So now we're in this mess ever since February. It's August. We're still in this mess. This is not okay. We're not winning. We're not winning, and whatever our military got involved for, it doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit the American people at all. I find it disturbing that servicemen and women and their families and everybody involved is going through all this unnecessary hoopla with Iran. I just really think it's unfair. Trump put his foot in his mouth about that too. The average American is struggling to make ends meet. We're paying our taxes and we're struggling, and the cost of living is going up tremendously. And yeah, he just chalks it up to a little bit of money on the gas bill. $4 to be exact.
So, for you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have... A country, really, it's the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon. So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4. It's okay. I mean, it's... I'll never apologize. I did the right thing.
Yeah, he'll never apologize. So there you have it. The average American is not sitting around going, who's the #1 state sponsor for terror? And a terror to who? Light bill, water bill, food costs, back to school now with the kids. That's the type of stuff we're thinking about. And for those of us who don't have children, some of us want to buy a home. My generation is looking at renting for the rest of our lives, never owning anything. That's insane. We don't care about the war on terror. We don't care. We don't care. My generation and younger, we care more about being able to afford to live. Last time I checked, terrorism wasn't messing with us over here. These bills, though, these bills.